Live from New York, it's Asking Engineers.
Hey everybody, welcome to another fabulous Asking Engineer. It's me, Lydia, and special guest tonight, Ayah, another engineer.
That's right.
Let me get a little closer to her. Say hi, you're visiting.
Hi everyone, I'm visiting from Chelsea, which is close to here, but I'm very excited to be here. A huge fan of Lemore and Phil, of course. So.
And you're going to be showing off some awesome bits.
I have some awesome bits, some bits coming out of littleBits, some bits coming out of the Bit Lab, which is a new platform that we just launched, and some demos never before seen.
Oh my God, isn't that exciting? Okay, well, we're ready to rock. Phil, tell them what's on tonight's show.
Okay, on tonight's show, the code is littleBits. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store all the way up to 11:59 p.m. tonight. Get on it. We'll go over the show and tell. A lot of cool people showed up and showed cool things. We got Packet the Mailbag. Packet will show up and talk about something we did or didn't do. We can't stop them. Open source hardware. Tons of news in the world of open source hardware. And that will be mostly talking about littleBits. A little bit of Time Travel Tuesday maybe. A little bit of wearables. A couple new things with 3D printing. We're going to answer your questions. We have a trivia question. All that and more on, you guessed it, Ask an Engineer.
We also have top secret, but it's top secret bits.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's right.
Counts as top secret.
We do have top secret bits.
Okay.
So first up, don't forget everyone, 10% off code littleBits. You can use a 10% off code to get littleBits that we stock in our store too.
Or other things.
Yeah. We still take Bitcoins, which is weird. Every day there's something weirder about Bitcoins. I was reading that there's a company, Butterfly Labs, and apparently they got into some trouble, or they're getting into trouble. They made Bitcoin mining hardware, and one of the accusations is to test it, they would mine Bitcoins before the customers got it. So
yeah, they basically be leasing it themselves.
Yeah. So,
so that's why they got in trouble, not the fact that they're mining Bitcoin.
Maybe they weren't shipping. The story got really dark really quick, because I'm like, oh, you can buy these. They can buy these at Walmart, these Bitcoin miners, and I'm like, wow, 2014 is kind of weird. But yeah, apparently that's a problem. Apparently you're not allowed to mine Bitcoins on the equipment you sell to customers. So, okay. Next up, for orders, $200 or more, free UPS ground continental US. That's our free deal right now. We'll have new free deals later.
More freebies soon.
More freebies soon. We ran out of freebie stuff.
You guys freebied too much.
Yeah. Okay. First up, Lady Ada, please tell us what was on the show and tell, and then we're going to kick it off with our guest.
We had a bunch of people on the show and tell. We start off with Tony DeCola from Adafruit Northwest, who showing off some tutorial projects that he will be doing soon, publishing on the learning system. He's got an RTL software-defined radio for Raspberry Pi with a Pi TFT 3.5-inch screen. So it's got a GUI, it's got a touch screen, it's got like you can like see the radios. It's super fun. He also got Doom 2 running on a Pi TFT 2.8-inch and actually got it running at a pretty reasonable clip. And apparently it's like the 20th anniversary of Doom 2, like today or something. So he even had like the diskettes for some reason and a copy of Daikatana. I don't know. Go watch his videos so you can figure out what's up with Tony and why he has all this stuff. Like in love with Romero or something. He's got great hair. Okay, Noah and Pedro came by. They are working on some 3D printed Halloween stuff. They have a Halloween gas mask that they worked on. It is super creepy and has like lasers and EL and NeoPixels and all sorts of crazy electronics attached to it. It looks very scary. They also made a custom project for me that they'll probably be talking about on the show tomorrow with a little flying toasters pendant. I wanted one made with OLEDs, Phil B, Paint Your Dragon, wrote the code. They did the 3D printing. It's great. Guido came by with a Dr. Arduino shield. It's a design that he made to be able to test Arduinos with shields on them. It's got a cutout, and he made a clock, and he used it, and it looks cool, and it's a Dr. Arduino. And then Joe Gutting came by with a really sweet automated greenhouse for growing citrus plants, limes, and lime trees in particular, in Texas. And it tracks the humidity and temperature so that he can keep his citrus plants all happy. They're inside a greenhouse because it's too cold in Texas, I guess, to grow limes. But he had like 4 pounds of limes, which is perfect for all those drinks that he's drinking while he's sitting around waiting for his automated pie greenhouse to tweet him or something. And then Rhett C came by with a very spooky EL wire shadow box that he recycled. Looked like he recycled either that or the EL wire from a previous project and showed off at a mini Maker Faire, Louisiana. It was pretty cool. He used mirrors to make it look like he had twice as much EL wire, which is a cute trick. And he had it sequenced, and it was glowy. And that's what we had for Show and Tell.
Okay, all participants on the Show and Tell get as seen on the Show and Tell sticker. Just email support@adafruit.com, and we'll send you a sticker. We saw some of these stickers on projects actually at Maker Faire, too.
Right.
That was neat. Okay, Lady Ada, how did they get on the show?
First, you gotta hydrate. And then go to Google Plus Circle at plus.google.com/+Adafruit and look for the post where we say, comment here to get added to the Show and Tell Circle. Then you will post a response to that thread and say, me, I want to be added to the Show and Tell Circle. Then we click on your avatar and we add you, and then you join the other hundreds of attractive and intelligent and glamorous engineers, scientists, makers, hackers, and little bits noodlers, little bitsers, who will show up every single bitsters, who show up every single week to show off their project. Show up as many times as you want. You get free stickers. It's glorious. We do this every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay. Next up, Mailbag. Every week we read stuff from the Mailbag. We also read these at our company meeting, which is kind of fun. So people will send us emails or they'll take a photo of something and then we read it to the whole company. So this is the one that we just read in our last company meeting. So this is now for everybody else. This is from Andrew. Why I heart Adafruit? 5 reasons I recommend Adafruit Industries to people getting started in physical computing. Great engineering. The products are just superbly designed, engineered, and built. Great curation. They research and test components and tools to offer so you don't have to sift through 8,000 different kinds of things yourself. Great service. They respond to customer requests and orders really fast, minutes, not days. Great support. All their products and kits have excellent libraries and tutorials for how to use them, to actually use them in real projects. Learn.adafruit.com. Great attitude. They really believe in and support open source efforts and educators. P.S. They didn't pay me to write this. I'm just a satisfied customer.
I totally paid him to write it. You don't know. You don't
and
know.
see how my students benefit from their stuff. So thank you for sending that in.
Okay.
Yeah, one of our favorite ones. So when people open up their package, they'll take a photo of how it was packed, so we can show everybody in the shipping and logistics team, like, hey, it really matters because they're like, ooh, it looks like chocolates, or like because they're so evenly spaced in there.
They will. Yeah.
Okay, so big news in the world of open source hardware. First, Becky Stern was not here today doing Warp Electronics with Becky Stern. She is in Rome.
Wow.
She just did her talk. What's working in wearables at the Open Hardware Summit 2014, which, by the way, you were one of the co-founders of the Open Hardware Summit.
That's true, in 2009.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
you started this party.
2010, yeah.
You started this party.
And
yeah, Alicia Gibb and I.
Becky just did her talk, and then Maker Faire Rome is coming up this weekend. And until the press release happens, we can't say anything, but there might be a big announcement. We've been waiting so long. But that's this weekend. So,
Can't talk about it.
other big news, and boy, was this timely. So today, I loaded up my web browser, and my homepage is glamour.com. It's just been like that for a while. And there's a new list at Glamour, 35 under 35. These women are changing the tech industry. And I think this is the first time a pick-and-place machine was ever featured in Glamour. So there's our Samsung 481, and there's Lady Ada with, I think that's the Met-Cal. Is it this?
That's my Met-Cal, yeah.
That's your Met-Cal. And this is a big deal. This is one of the most circulated magazines in the world. You got all gussied up, as they say, and you did a Glamour photo shoot.
We did. It was only a couple weeks ago. It was very fast.
They moved really fast.
They put me in really cool shoes.
Yeah. So this will hit the newsstands 2 weeks from now.
I like the skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a leather skirt from Zara, and they're like, you should go get it.
You should totally go get it.
Yeah.
So
it looks like engineering can look hot.
Yeah. And
it's practical. I mean, it's easy to wash.
The coolest part about this is there was someone else in there who's an open source hardware pioneer who we admire and like a lot. Ayah, congratulations.
Yay!
You're one of the 35 under 35 as well.
5% of the top glamorous 35 under 35 do open source hardware.
And are sitting at this table.
At this table.
Yeah. But that's pretty amazing. So I think this is the first time that two open source hardware company founders were featured in the same magazine that I know of, here's a list of people. All magazines are all about lists. So congratulations to both of you. Big deal.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hug. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
High five. Sorry.
So
Clumsy.
I think
it's okay.
Glamour is like 2.3 million in circulation, and then it's like on newsstands even more than that. So there's going to be a whole new group of people that I think will look at the two of you and say, I can imagine doing something like that. I can imagine wanting to devote career and time and things. So I think that's kind of neat, because I think that's the hardest thing. If people don't see role models and something that they can do or imagine themselves doing, they're like, oh, well, I don't know if I can be an engineer. You know, what is that like?
I mean, I think the thing that I'm excited about is that Glamour and fashion magazines in general are always showing women that have these like unattainable looks and look effortless and are super skinny and wearing very, very expensive clothing, and it sets these standards that are almost impossible to attain for regular people and regular girls. And I think it's really good that they're paying attention to technology and really trying to make
I can't wait till there's like an article that's like Glamour sets an unreasonable expectation for like whether you can solder TQFPs with that tip. like it's it's not fair for you to say like anyone can hand solder 0.4 millimeter QFN. That's not an attainable goal.
Discrimination against the people that can't.
No. So they had I think they're trying to get more into like technology and feminism and business, and it's good that they're covering. Actually, I haven't read the article yet. I have not had time today, but I will. But I think they covered a lot of other business women too. That's just like that are doing really, really cool stuff. And it's good to show women who read the magazine like you're also represented, because there's a lot of women doing this. Like there's a lot.
And tech isn't just web companies; it's actual hardware and manufacturing. So I thought that was like really bold.
And it's not just doing marketing at tech companies.
That's right. That's right. This is actually founders and CEOs.
Engineers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they put together a fantastic list. So that brings me to you, Ayah. You're here. Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Hello.
So
here you are.
Ayah's here. We've known her for a while. Here's a little bit about Ayah. I'm gonna talk about you. You're the founder and CEO of littleBits, award-winning library of electronics dubbed Legos for the iPad generation. You're an engineer, interactive artist, and one of the leaders in the open source hardware movement. Your career in education is centered around advancing open source hardware to make education and innovation more accessible to people around the world. You're also the co-founder of Hardware Summit. Talked about that. A TED Senior Fellow, MIT Media Lab alumni, named Inc. Magazine's 35 under 5. You're collecting the 35s under 35.
Yeah, the 35s.
Fast Company, 100 most creative people in business. Popular Mechanics, 25 makers who are reinventing the American dream.
That's 25, yeah.
Yeah.
25.
Sorry.
So you have 35 plus, it's 135 plus 25, so it's 160.
Yeah.
There's
Entrepreneurs.
35.
Yeah, Entrepreneurs, 10 leaders to watch. And
So
one of the MIT Technology Reviews 35 under 35. Originally from Lebanon, Canada. I now live
Okay, so
in
you
New
have
York City.
205.
I have 205. I guess that's success.
Ayah, welcome to Ask an Engineer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to be the Charlie Rose of like online live electronic shows.
Awesome.
There's only one live electronic show. Wish people would do more shows. Okay, so this is a little bit about littleBits. So founded in September 2011. You have this bit thing is you have more than 50 now.
62 now.
60.
Wow. I have to update that.
Yeah, employees you're up to
52 now.
That's right.
Yeah.
And number of kits is probably more too.
Yeah, more. Oh, this thing is outdated. Yeah, we have to update it.
Oh, boy.
That's fine. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
And then
you're down to 51. Somebody's got fired.
country sold to 70 plus. That's probably more now too.
Yeah.
Because I know we sell your stuff around the world. It's one of the more popular things that we.
That's right. Yeah, that counts only what we ship to directly.
And the last piece about this is you're one of the rare and unique entities. You're an open source hardware company, and you've taken funding. So that's great.
Yeah, we've taken investment from venture capital, but always been very open with the investors about wanting to be open source and really wanting to help kind of catalyze innovation. But it's always been this exercise of how do we remain open source, but also have some business advantage that we keep. And so we have this balanced approach about open source. So for example, the circuits are open, the magnetic connectors are not. And so we try to kind of be open and honest about it.
You can just replace it with wires.
Exactly. It's not impeding you from using littleBits, but for us to be able to ensure that people are not connecting crap to what we're doing and calling it their own, and also for us to be having a business advantage. So it becomes kind of like a balance and good way to be funded and kind of a good business, but at the same time be open.
So one of the big things that you just launched, because I have a couple of things here that's queued up, was CloudBit. So tell me a little bit about the CloudBit, and then I'm going to play a video.
Also air conditioner bit.
Yeah. What's the CloudBit? That's a new launch for you guys.
Maybe play the video first.
You want to tell you? Okay, that's great.
She did have a video.
The Internet of Things is getting so full of things. Instead of buying all new things, let's reinvent what we already have. This is the CloudBit. It can make any dumb thing an internet-connected smart device. You can talk directly to your things and not be crazy. Because now, they'll talk back. So whether you're recreating the most popular things, bringing your home to life, inventing the incredible, or prototyping the next billion-dollar idea, the CloudBit is the easiest way for anyone to snap the internet to anything.
All right, and we're back. Okay, so what's this CloudBit thing do?
So what does this CloudBit bit do?
So the CloudBit is a littleBits module. It's a pre-engineered, pre-assembled circuit like any other littleBits module, but it is the most powerful one to date. It's a Wi-Fi chip essentially. So it has an ARM chip on it. It allows you to create your own internet device within seconds. And so essentially all you have to do is you snap it to power. It creates an ad hoc network. You connect it to your Wi-Fi by supplying your password, and you're done. It's up and running literally within under a minute, so that you can, like you saw in the video, you can snap it onto your existing window AC unit and make it internet connected so you can control it with your phone. Or you can snap it to other littleBits and make the other littleBits respond to data from the internet, like the weather or how many emails you have, or do the opposite. You can also press a button on littleBits and have the CloudBit send the data out to the internet. For example, if you want to do an SMS doorbell, so that you can have a text message every time somebody comes to your door in case you're wearing headphones. So all these different inventions, and our goal is to allow you to do three things. Recreate some of the most popular internet devices, so you can create your own Nest or your own Sonos or your own Locatron.
Yeah.
But you can also invent the next big thing, so something that nobody else has invented, so you can prototype an idea that doesn't exist. Like for example, the popular one that we have in the video is the Insta Ego Head, so that every time you get an Instagram like, your head gets bigger.
Yeah. And this works with like if this then that, like how do you tie in with stuff?
Exactly. So it's compatible. You can either, the very simple way is we have this web app that you can use to control it with a button or a dimmer. You can also, it's compatible with if this and that, so you can there's a channel and you can create your own recipes. But then we also have an API if you wanted to create your own app.
Okay, and then you guys just host the server, so people don't have to worry about like spinning up a Heroku instance or whatever.
Exactly.
And like it's just Wi-Fi, so it works with like everything. And it's cute because you have like a little mini embedded core, and then you just plug in the Wi-Fi. And what's neat about this is you can like upgrade this to a big antenna if you want. Like it's just you just unplug it.
When you're showing the overhead
show
there
the
too.
overhead. Oh.
So the other thing is you can see.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Zoom. Okay, it zoomed in.
So yeah, the idea is that when you're setting it up, you just hold on the setup button. It creates this ad hoc network. You give it your Wi-Fi username and password, and you're up and running. Literally takes a minute, and we've seen people do really interesting things. So people have made remote pet feeders so that you can feed your fish or feed your dog remotely before you get home. People have done notification devices if somebody's at home, like the motion sensor picks it up and lets you know. You can sort of recreate most of the functionality that a lot of Internet of Things products out there do, but the most important part is that you can also solve a problem with an audience of one. And that's the thing that we're excited about, is that you can do something that maybe a company would not make for you.
Yeah.
You can do for yourself.
And then on the other side, to like, let's say I want to use like my phone, is it an app, or do I just go to the web page on littleBits to control it? Like, is it an app or is it a web page?
It's a web page. It's littleBits.cc/cloud control.
So you don't have to worry about like iOS versus Android. There's no download. You just go to a web, so you can use anything actually.
Anything, computer, iPad, whatever.
Okay.
We'll eventually make an app, but right now the easiest thing is to just make
well, I mean, like you can have a mobile site, and it's actually like there'll always be a web browser, because if you're trying to like Android like 4.8 or whatever, it's going to be different.
Okay.
All right, that's intense.
Yeah.
This is the new bit.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Yeah. So if someone wants to get the Cloud Starter Bundle, you have two ways you can get it. You can get the bundle, or you just get the Cloud Bit alone, right? That's the two ways.
So the Cloud Bit alone also ships with a micro USB. Where is it? I don't have it here. A USB bit and a USB adapter. So
you just power it in like a
exactly, because Wi-Fi is very power hungry, so you need to be connected to power to the wall. And then the bundle comes with a few extra modules so that you can make those projects right out of the box. So you can make that SMS doorbell, or you can make the fish feeder and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of projects that I saw that people are doing. So you can remotely control a thermostat.
That's fun. Actually, that's one of the things that I really believe is, I hate this trend of companies telling you that you should throw your electronics out and buy what's new. I really hate that a lot of electronic products get thrown out when they're perfectly functional. So, for example, your thermostat or your window AC unit is perfectly functional. If you want
a knob.
It's just a knob. It's low-fi. It doesn't have internet. But in order to make it internet connected, you shouldn't have to throw it out and buy a new one that is internet connected. You could just, in this case, the project is using a motor to turn the knob of the thermostat on and off, and you can adjust the control, and it works exactly.
So on the phone, you just have a slider, and then that slider or rotator, and then it's just mimicked.
The servo motor, exactly.
Yeah, it's just mimicked. So it's like a completely transparent, as if it was a wire. But
exactly. But in this case, actually, it goes even further. It's reading temperature with a temperature sensor, and you adjust the dimmer to be the temperature that you want, and it will calculate the difference and basically have the servo motor go to the place that you want. So it's actually smart, but what it's doing is it's doing it mechanically instead of inside electrically, but who cares? It works the same.
Yeah.
Okay, and then another one I saw was real-time weather dashboard.
Oh, that's so cute.
So you can make your own weather gauge.
Yep.
Without like other materials, you can laser cut stuff. You can make anything you want.
So that's one. That one is made with a laser cutter. One of our designers, Dave, did it. He's super talented, and basically it reads high, low, temperature, and is updating from Weather Underground. But you can also have people connected to the different things, like how many emails you have, or I don't know what the score is from in a certain sports game. I don't know any sports teams, but yeah, something like that.
Okay, and then one of them, the ones you mentioned before, I like this one a lot. This is to feed your pet. So how does this work? You can actually feed a fish by you can text and dumps fish food in. That's cool.
So that little rounded thing has the fish food pellets, and that's our betta fish that we have in the office. And basically, remotely you just control it, and the motor turns, and it drops a few pellets, so you can feed it. But we've seen people also do feeders for rabbits, for dogs, for cats, all sorts of things. I think there's a turtle thing on the site too. There's a lot of animal feeding devices.
Yeah, on our show and tell, there's a lot of people doing things with fish, and there's a lizard because you have to heat them up and stuff.
I don't know what's with the electronics
It's
community
like your
and
hobby.
fish.
You have a pet, and you're like, well, I want to do electronics with my pet, but my cat doesn't solder, my dog doesn't know how to use a ham radio. You might as well make it feeder. All they want to do is eat.
Yeah. Okay, and then another one I saw that was cool. This is the doorbell that texts you, or if you have a delivery, it'll let you know when something has arrived.
That's actually, I really like this project because one of our director of R&D, Paul Rothman, joined littleBits, and on the first day of the company, and when he first joined, his brother, who's a musician, told him, oh, you're going to join this company, littleBits, can you please make me a solution so that when I'm in the music studio and I'm recording and I order delivery and the delivery man rings the bell, I can't hear him because I have my headphones on, can you make me something that sends me a text message? And this was 2011, and it was just a project suggestion. It took us a few years, but
he's so hungry. He's like he's in the studio for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Where's my pizza?
Where's my pizza?
And now he knows where his pizza is.
Okay. So if anyone wants to make some type of cloud thing, you hear the term a lot, or internet connected thing, or just be able to have electronics work over the internet in the easiest way possible, Cloud Bundle. Okay.
Okay, Cloud
Next
Cloud
up,
Bundle.
But you didn't stop there. You've been really busy.
Okay.
The next thing, this is just, we just posted about this on Adafruit, the Bit Lab. So it's a user-generated versions of bits.
Yeah.
So anyone can come up with a bit idea. And so you launched with a few. Maybe you could talk a little bit about these. But I guess first, why did you come up with this? Did you think that you didn't want, you're like, we think we got the core bits and now we want to see what everyone else has? What?
Now we want to go to sleep. Yeah. Let them
what's the reason for because this is like, everything that you touch is very maker-like. This is just my observation. You're like, well, you have a perfectly good air conditioner. Make something to make it work better. I mean, you have all these great bits. People be very busy, but they probably wanted to do extra things and you didn't know maybe.
Well, I mean, it's actually, it was the part of the vision of the company since day one, like really since 2009, before there was a company, because for me, it was this idea that I was really inspired and excited by how when the when the App Store came along, how suddenly anyone in the world within like a couple of weeks and a computer can create the most popular app at the App Store and suddenly have their phone distributed to millions of people, but more importantly, like really have their ideas come out. And so in hardware, that's not possible right now. You don't have this platform that everybody can develop on. There's Arduino obviously and Raspberry Pi, but there's no, the second stage of hardware that makes it complex is the supply chain. Basically, somebody actually going into manufacturing, as opposed to with the App Store, they just put it up on their server.
Yeah, it's software.
So what we did is, it's been the idea since day one, but we had to lay the foundation. So we had to make the core library. We're now up to 60 modules that we've built, lights and sound and sensors, and really make it a rich library. And then we had to build the supply chain to support it so that we can create a modular supply chain so that people can create new bits and we can manufacture them relatively fast. And now we have the community that we can open up to, and we have Dream Bits, which is a page on the site that has thousands and thousands of submissions that we've been collecting over the years. Some crazy ideas. Some of them very simple, like triple axis accelerometer, and then some things that are totally out there, like a hover bit, which I would be very excited
it's neat
to
because
somebody solve.
People are imagining what they can do with the little bits, and one of the cool things as I watched you and Limor and other people in open source hardware, you always get ideas from unexpected places. Like there's no one person that can think of anything. It's impossible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the ideas that come in when you do open source, because that's the community you're in, are very interesting. So you launched with some bits. This first one, because you have some BitLab celebrities, and these are people that a lot of us know. Jay Silver, we have the Makey in our store, and we all know Jay. So this is a Makey bit.
Okay.
So what is this about?
Do you want to demo it?
Let me.
Oh, it's live demo time? All right.
Oh, we can do that later.
Oh no, this is good. You can do it.
No, you've got a banana.
I have a banana. Whenever you mention makey, there has to be a banana.
Yeah, anytime Jay's involved, there's some musical fruit demo.
So basically, just some background on this. Basically, what we did is we.
Do you want to hide a?
Because this idea of making an app store for hardware is actually quite complex to make work. So we had to, we wanted to work with a few developers ahead of time to kind of make sure the mechanics were working. And so the first ones that we worked with were Korg, the music technology company, and we created a synth kit with them. Then the second ones were Arduino. We made the Arduino at Heart module that we have now. And then the next, we worked with Jay Silver, we worked with Bear Conductive, and we worked with a few more actually that we'll show to kind of get the mechanics up and running. And so this bit that I have right here is the makey bit. You see it's green because it's still a prototype.
Yeah.
It's a prototype. So let me see if I've set this up correctly.
And
So
Jay Silver, another open source hardware company.
Is it open source? I don't know.
Makey
That's a good question.
yes. Yep.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. We in the Bit Lab we say we recommend that you open source your hardware, but if you don't want to, it's okay. So
whatever folks want to do.
So this, what I have here is I have the makey bit. I have it connected to an LED, an oscillator, and it's mixing into the speaker. And so now, or I can swap it out to the second circuit that I made.
You need like 8 more bananas.
We need 8 more bananas. So let's see.
It's gonna go bad.
We can. This has right now a random bit, an envelope, and it's going into the same speaker also. But you can also create.
Okay,
Nice. Good beat. Another one of the bits that we made, part of our Bit Lab celebrities, was with Bear Conductive. I love this bit. It's amazing. If you don't know Bear Conductive, they make conductive inks to allow people to create sensors out of surfaces, out of wearables, and all these different things.
Also in the Adafruit store.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, we have stuff.
So this is basically,
cool.
this is the electrode that's become the sensor, and I'm controlling the motor. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm controlling the servo motor, and I'm also seeing the number display, the 7-segment display.
It's the distance,
it's
but it's a proximity.
Exactly, proximity. So they call it the touch sensor, but it's really proximity. But the nice thing is that you can
change
put,
the sensitivity, so if you don't want to change the sensitivity.
and the nice thing is that you can put things in between, you know? Can you? Yeah, you can.
I think it depends. Oh, yeah.
No, you should be able to.
Oh, my paper's conductive.
Interesting. No, you can. I've seen it done. Oh, well, we've done it actually with, let's do this. Power cycling always works. Let's try this again. Clearly not. Okay, ignore that idea.
Prototype. No problem. You know what it is? It's when you do that, it has to recalibrate, and so it slows down. So you have to put it on, and then turn it off, and then turn it back on.
Okay, let's try this.
Okay.
This is live debugging.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Engineering.
Exactly.
No, because the chip, I know this chip, when you start it up, it calibrates. So if you change the environment a lot, it takes a while for it to yeah.
So basically the cool thing is that in this case I had paper, but you can also put like a thick piece of glass. So you can put something behind, like if you're in a store, you can make the window of the store reactive.
That's right.
Yeah, so
you were in littleBits, and you were in the MoMA store, and if you were to do another store thing, you'd probably have.
Actually, that's when we came up with that idea to work with them, is because we were doing the displays in the MoMA stores, and we really wanted them to be reactive to people passing by, but we also couldn't have the bits outside and people would steal them or mess with them. And we didn't have this bit at the time, so we ended up not making them reactive. They were autonomous.
Automated,
but if we were to do it again,
you're
we
set.
totally
I like
autonomous
you're making bits for your own needs.
Yeah,
that's the best kind of bits.
Okay, so
so we have the
we got the Bear Conductive one. I showed that.
Okay.
And, Matt Johnson, the co-founder of Bear Conductive, was part of that. And then we had before that Jay Silver, Metro Makey, the banana bit, or the Makey bit. And then the other ones that you have, the Arduino bit.
The Arduino bit, do I have it here? I don't have it here.
Well, if not, you can just talk about it. So
So
what's
the
the
Arduino
Arduino
bit is part of their Arduino at Heart program. It's basically in Arduino, but it's somewhat reduced functionality. But what it does is, because it connects to the rest of the littleBits system, we take care of the hardware and you can focus on the code. So if you're wanting to introduce somebody to programming for the first time, they don't have to simultaneously learn how to wire a breadboard, learn how to create sensor circuits, learn how to create motor drivers, and also learn Arduino. They can just learn Arduino. And snap them into regular circuits and sensors that we have. But also we've seen people do quite complex things. Like this project that you have out there is rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, it's a competition between the robot and the human.
That's
and
cool.
then what about this bit, this OLED bit?
Oh,
so this is
a new one? Wait,
yeah.
Okay, do you want, let me do one more before, because this is, I want to get to the bit lab
Sorry.
Korg.
Korg bit.
Korg bit. So basically, actually, these are some of these bits here. This is a collaboration that we did with Korg. Korg is a very prominent and very well-respected music technology company that creates equipment, synthesizers, speakers, all sorts of things. And they're incredible and really open-minded. They came to us, basically, they said, we love what you're doing, we want to create a modular synthesizer together. And so we created the synth kit, which I think you guys carry.
Yeah, we do. I was using it as the intro music for Ask an Engineer, but I have so many things going on, and it's so much fun to use. And so I would set it on, just, you could do it as a sequencer, and it would just do it.
Exactly.
So I use that.
So it's pretty fun, it's popular, and also it's been popular with professional musicians and DJs that have performed actual sets with it. So
cool.
Because they can kind of reconfigure the instrument on the spot, so they really like it.
Okay, so that's the Korg bit.
Okay.
I guess I'll go to the overhead. Do you want to just show?
Yeah, so these are a couple more of the BitLab bits. So this one I'll show before, I'll talk about it. So this one, you see it has gray connectors. These are, I'll show the HDK now. The gray connectors basically so that you can pick your own category. If you wanted to make an input module, and those are pink. If you wanted to make it output, it would be green. If you wanted to make it power, it would be blue. If you wanted to make it wire, it would be orange. So in this case, we give you a blank bit snap, and you can make your own bit. This is one of the this is one of the BitLab bits that we have up right now for vote, so you should go up there and vote for it if you like it. It's called the bleep drum, and so I'm connecting it here. I have a micro sequencer, a speaker, and basically it has two modes. It's either analog, where it's reading the value from outside, or the knob is setting it.
And then you can, what do these knobs do? They change.
This is a sequencer, yeah. So it's changing. You can start to create, and you can plug. And this speaker has an audio output, so you can go into an actual speaker. It sounds like DJ music, doesn't it?
There you go.
Sorry, autofocus.
That's great.
This is totally like the Bleep Music Festival.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but in a box.
You just need some like
Okay.
stale
Portable.
beer. Okay.
All right. And a while back when you first launched some of your musical bits, you had Reggie Watts do an excellent video.
Yeah, Reggie
was
Watts.
cool.
I met him at TED. He's amazing, and he was kind of our muse.
Yeah.
And he came by to the office, and he helped us think about what he would like to see, because his thing was like, I would like to pack up an entire set equipment in a briefcase, in a backpack, because I don't like to carry and check in luggage when I travel. So he was like really loving littleBits because they were so small, and so he could pack literally a set that he could perform with. And he made a video that was super cool. And popular.
we posted on our site, so in the show notes you'll see that, and then also in the chat. Okay, so those are the bits that are out. You brought a secret bit. You brought something on it?
I don't have it now, but basically we have, as of an hour ago, we have two. Well, we've had a few submissions to the BitLab since we launched it. So first of all, you can go vote for Bleep Drum if you like it, for the Backyard Brains bit that I don't have here. It's an EMG sensor bit. If you like it, you can vote for it so that we can reach a threshold of 1,000 votes and then evaluate it. But also we've had an analog RGB sensor, an RGB LED that was submitted, as well as an OLED screen.
Okay.
And just today, an hour before I came, we have two new submissions. One is a power bit relay, and another one is a wireless power module, I think.
Wow.
So those just came out. Yeah, exactly.
Very
so
cool.
vote for the bits that you like, get on the wait list for the ones that are in production if you
Bits
wanted.
Okay.
And I have a plug, which is that we're going to have a BitLab hangout on the 14th, I believe. The information would be on littleBits site, so that if you wanted to create a bit, but you didn't have any ideas or wanted help or anything, you can join the Google Hangout and kind of learn how to submit your own bit.
Okay. And there's folks at littleBits who we gave author permission to the Adafruit blog, so make sure they post it up on our blog, their blog. Yeah. Because we posted up everything every time they send something. Like, I should just make it so you can post. Like, you guys have good stuff, so I may as well just eliminate.
And then if people have ideas for bits, what do they do? If they have a
If
bit,
you
they're engineers, because a lot of people watching they're engineers. They have a bit idea.
So if you have an idea but you're not an engineer, you can submit it to DreamBits, which is basically just a comment box that you put your idea down. If you have an idea or don't have an idea, can pick up somebody else's idea, and you are an engineer, you basically, the best way to get started is you get this.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go
well, we can go to the overhead.
Hold on. Gotta go.
You get.
Oh, it's spinning around.
Here we go. Oh, it's so the hardware development kit that we have, and you guys have too, and it has
unboxing.
Very fancy.
What's going on here?
So it has with it. I don't know if you can see. I didn't open this. It has a proto bit, which.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Proto
Oh, here.
bit.
It's a proto bit so that you can connect to a breadboard. It has two of that. It has the bit snaps, which are the
Ooh,
magnetic
connectors.
connectors.
Okay.
But it also has these stickers so that you can say, I want the green module or an orange module or pink or blue. And it also has, this is my favorite actually,
It's a proto
a
board.
perf bit, yeah.
Perf board bit.
So it's a blank bit
Ooh.
so that you could,
That's nice.
you can hook up your own electronics to it.
I want
So
to carry this in the store. This will be super handy.
you do have it, I think. Right,
Maybe we
Phil?
ordered it. I think we haven't gotten it yet. It's,
Okay.
it's on the way.
So it's
on the
coming.
way.
Yeah.
It's coming.
So the best
We're
way
a
to
little
get
bit behind.
started, the best way to get started is you get this, and then you can start to prototype your bit, and then you can upload it. And if you get 1,000 votes, then we will evaluate it, and if it's a good bit, we'll make it.
Okay, so I had a couple more screenshots that I took from the littleBit site, and it's littlebit.cc for everyone out there. So the ones that you have in production, the touch sensor and the Makey module, right? Because that was in the production section. And then you
Those
also
you can reserve.
Yeah, then you also have ready to buy right now. There's the Arduino bit, keyboard bit, oscillator bit.
Yeah, the Korg bits.
And all the other Korg bits.
And all the other Korg bits.
Yeah.
And then also the perf bit is available on its own too.
Yeah. Perf board is available on its own, as well as the bit snaps and the proto. So however you want to start prototyping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put all those. And then these are the bit snaps.
Yes.
Okay. And then the last thing was, these are just some of the modules. This was the controllable RGB LED, the EMG, and the bleep drum. So
Bleep drum is ahead.
Yeah. Those are up for vote. So if
you can vote right now.
If you want to see any of them in production, vote for them and tell your friends.
Before we start getting questions, and there are questions, did you want to show what?
There's two of us.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I have a couple of screens on there. You had another couple things over here, right? Or are we through the
Oh, show the stuff up? Yeah.
So we have a few things that are coming up. They're coming soon. This one is an MP3 player. So you can load the mini SD card, micro SD card with some MP3s, and you can play it. We also have, I don't have it here, what was coming soon? Oh, one that I'm very excited about. It's an accessory. It's called the AC switch. And basically, it's an IR transmitter and an AC switch that reads the IR signal so that you can plug in your power products. So you can plug in your AC or your 110-volt lamp or your fan or anything.
TV.
But it's also isolated so that you're not...
Yes, good.
Yeah.
And what is that one? Am I allowed to ask about that one, the one with the screen?
Oh, we didn't show this. That's right. I forgot about this one. Sorry.
I don't know
this is the demo that
I don't know if it's super top secret or not.
Yeah, no. This actually, I haven't shown this demo yet. So this is the top secret demo. Is this upside down? Or
It's upside down.
No, this is upside down.
That's upside down. Sorry.
See
okay, so it's a little OLED display.
See, these things bother me. Okay, good. So this is a little OLED display. It's made by Gabotronics. And it's also up for vote if you want to see it made. This is an oscilloscope essentially. And so here I'm using this oscillator to change the frequency. In this case,
it's good for debugging your bits too.
Exactly. So it's going to be very helpful when other people make bits too, so that they can look at their signal. So.
Okay. Oh, cool.
And then it has an advanced mode also where you can modify all the different settings with these buttons here.
Oh, so cute. Okay.
So that was, I forgot about this. That was a super special demo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that up for vote?
I've been looking
That's
at.
up for vote, yeah.
I was looking at it all the time. I was like, oh.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Okay.
Up for vote too if you want to see it made.
That's a lot of bits.
All right, that's a lot of bits. So speaking of, the code is littleBits. You can use the code littleBits tonight to buy littleBits. So 10% off all things in the Adafruit store. Okay.
Okay.
So next up, I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of break before we go into questions.
Yeah.
So first up, we do a feature, Time Travel Tuesday, where we look back in the world of makers, hackers, artists, and engineers, and we usually pick out a scientist or someone. But I thought this one was interesting because there's always some weird milestone. So in 1980, the Ethernet spec was published by Xerox working group with Intel and Digital. Remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Digital.
So 1980, that's when that came out.
Yeah, finally token rings sucks. Ethernet.
Yeah.
Yay. Now Ethernet is like the standard.
Yeah.
And it's like interesting how it's actually grown. Like we have gigabit Ethernet, and it works actually pretty damn well.
So 1980.
35-year-old standard.
Yeah, there's a lot. Most people who are watching the show
That's the year you were born.
weren't even born. Yeah.
39. Yeah.
Okay, next up.
35.
We do have our wearable stuff, I'm sorry, our 3D printing stuff coming up, and we have one little short video. We're about to celebrate Halloween. It's electronic Halloween here at Adafruit, so these are Adabot dresses up, and we all dress up. And we have one video, and these are Halloween tips if you do 3D printing. So I'm going to roll the tape.
Hey everybody, welcome to another 3D Thursday. I'm Noah.
And I'm Pedro. This week we have a roundup of DIY projects you can make just in time for Halloween.
That's right, we have wearables and cosplay projects to share, and we've ordered them all from hardest to easiest to give you plenty of time to get working on those costume ideas. Let's check it out.
That's right, first up we have a challenging full bodysuit. This Cortana costume from Halo has sewn in neopixels, sporting a lovely circuitry animation. The details on the side are spray painted on using a 3D printed stencil.
Next up, why not make a Daft Punk inspired helmet that prints in just one piece? Strap on a set of neopixel strips and fire up some code.
If you need some props to go with your costume, why not make some ray guns that can measure distance and sense temperature?
You can quickly get around the neighborhood and turn some heads with an LED skateboard using neopixel rings and strips mounted to printed parts.
Be the devilish businessman and make the tried and true classic costume with his Ninja Flex printed horns and neopixel LEDs for a simple and easy build.
Or for a more heavenly approach, you can light up your head with this glowing crown hairdress using a Gemma and neopixel ring. Customize the stencil to match your costume.
Bling out your fist with these light up knuckles. Write your own text and words and make your ideas shine through with our alphanumeric quad display and trinket.
Alright, and that's it. Check out the full list of projects in the description below, and be sure to check out the Halloween section in the Adafruit shop for more ideas.
We have easy to follow guides with instructions and free downloads for each of these projects on the Adafruit Learning System.
Thanks so much for watching, guys, and if you dig these glowy projects, be sure to hit that like button.
And don't forget to subscribe for more 3D printed projects.
All right, and
Yay.
tomorrow, Matt, Noah, and Pedro will have 3D Thursday Hangouts. They have their own show now.
So if you like that and you want more, 3
Yeah.
p.m. every Thursday, 3D Hangouts.
Okay. So we're gonna. There's a lot of questions, so I'm just gonna. It's question time. Get your question bit ready. I don't know what that is.
Let me go big
yeah.
Q on it.
Okay. First up, Ayah. This person saw you at MakerCon in New York City. They just want to say nice job.
Thank you.
Not a question, but
That was a lot of challenges, actually, a lot of technical challenges with the presentation, but it went well.
Does everything you use have to be a bit? Is your projector a projector bit?
Actually, we've been trying to find the good projector to turn into a bit, but the problem is...
Oh, the mini projectors.
They're all really dim.
First of all, they're very dim, and the good ones are just crazy expensive. So
Yeah.
if anybody has advice on that, I would want to carry my projector around. That way I make sure it works every time.
Okay, so if there's a projector bit that works, you're gonna
Okay.
you're definitely gonna.
All right. Somebody from TI, you want to make a good DLP projector bit?
You're definitely gonna vote for
You
it.
should team up with Ayah.
Okay.
Yeah, their little mini micro mirrors are amazing.
For the cloud bit that you did,
hold on.
can you talk about the reasons why you went with a USB Wi-Fi dongle-like thing versus like one of the chips that would just be on there? Because there's a million different ways to do Wi-Fi.
To be honest, just price. I mean, we wanted to keep the price down because we want you to be able to wire up any product, any device, any piece of furniture, anything that you have around the home without even thinking about it, and for it to become super easy. And so it was just price. Those are kind of.
It's one of those things where if power, I mean, I know that you guys said you have to be plugged in, but if it's not a portable, powerless thing, it's way cheaper to actually make your own like mini ARM computer and plug in Wi-Fi and then have it. It's actually running Linux or like a super micro Linux.
Yeah.
It's actually easier and cheaper to do that because there's existing like distributions and standards. Because there's so much with Wi-Fi where you have to like do DHCP and then there's ad hoc and like
security
and security and
so
SSL.
This is a modified Arch Linux distribution that we have there.
It's actually like it's so super messed up. It's easier to do it this way than to if you want to like do a professional job and actually keep it at a good price. And the thing is, you know, the price of RAM and the processor speed will keep dropping.
Yeah.
And then the Wi-Fi dongle itself is like $4 or $5, super cheap.
Okay. Next up, for the CloudBit, can you talk a little bit about the processor and what it is and why you chose it?
That's a good question.
It's a Freescale.
I knew I wasn't going to remember, and
it's an MX233.
It's an MX23 exactly. It's an ARM.
A5.
It's an ARM 926EJS processor. Yeah. It has 64 megabytes of RAM. And has a heavily modified version of Arch Linux, and the SD card is it's a 4G SD card.
Oh, does it have to have an SD card in it to run?
Yeah, that's the firmware.
Distro. I see.
Yeah,
so I was like, oh, is this flash? That's just the
okay,
RAM.
so it has that has that chip, and then.
But eventually, you could have like once you've solidified it, you would just put the flash on there.
We'd put it on there, but also it's still basically we just launched this in July. We want to be able to update it.
This is smart because you don't know what's gonna. This way, it's like look, you can always send people SD cards.
Exactly.
Get an SD card.
Okay. All right, business question.
Oh.
All right, if you take investment money, do the investors expect there to be a strategy to cash out, or did they just stay in for the dividend? So I guess that would mean if you went public or something.
Our investors are VCs that are typically invested in companies from anywhere from 5 to 15 countries, 5 to 15 years, and they'll like help take a company public or anything like that, but they won't just stay in the company for 20, 30 years because they themselves raise money from funds that they have to return money to. But the good news, I guess the answer is number one. But the good news is our investors actually are really, really understanding and excited and passionate about the hardware movement, about the maker movement, about the connected space. And so they really, they never went in, and I never actually pitched to them, I'm starting this company because I want to sell it. I really just wanted to start a company to make littleBits and make electronics available to everyone, and that was the goal, and they were on board with that. So we were kind of lucky.
Well, the good news is that, like you said, it's all open source. So if people want to make their own bits, I mean, you can't get the magnetic connectors, but you can just use wires or just plug in like JST.
And people have,
You can you can download it when it's on GitHub or something.
Yeah, it's on GitHub.
It's like, it's cool. This is the best of both worlds. You have a company that is sustainable, that pays people, because it's actually expensive to run a company. People don't realize how expensive it is. It's not just like, oh, the potentiometer's $1, so like you can sell it for $1.25 and like run a company.
It's electricity, it's payroll, it's payroll tax.
There's like a lot, and like rent in New York, and then there's
New York,
and there's a lot of stuff you have to pay for on top of it, insurances.
And with the BitLab now, we pay for all the NRE costs, we pay for the tooling, we pay for the testing equipment, everything. That's why it's a combination of getting votes from people to see what people want, but also we then go through our own vetting process to see, are we going to be able to make it at a good price? Are we going to be able to sell enough of it? So that's why it's important to vote if you want something to exist, but also it will still go through a vetting process.
Some of these bits, I'm like, to get that into production is going to be at least $5,000 in cost. I mean, it's just expensive. You have to do multiple revisions, and you have to test it, and you have to hand assemble them, and then you have to like buy all the components.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that there's like 1,000 people who are like into it.
Yeah.
One of the things I like about littleBits and Adafruit and other companies that are similar in this regard is you guys are more than a business, you're also a cause. And that cause is you're making makers. The DNA is making makers. Like everything about it. Like it wasn't just good enough to make bits. You wanted to have something that had people make bits
Make
too.
bits,
Yeah, so
exactly.
that's really neat.
Our mission is to put the power of electronics in the hands of everyone, and the Bit Lab is the power of making electronics in the hands of everyone.
Okay, next up. Is it a challenge using white solder mask?
It is actually a very big challenge, not only because it's white solder mask, also because we're very, very anal about the white. So you see here, for example, these two.
We'll go to the overhead if you want. Okay, to the overhead.
These two whites are not exactly the same.
Oh yeah,
and like
one's a little bit of cooler white. And
like this won't go into production like this because the colors are not.
And what's the
exactly
correct
same.
one? This is more.
This is the correct one.
Purplish white.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like super clean white, and this is a little bit kind of
yellowish white.
Yeah.
This is why I go with like the blue because I'm like fuck it. Like I once I've done prototypes with white mask, but yeah, the yellow yellows very, very easily.
Yeah.
So it is only for advanced people.
So we had to develop this process to create it, which is not just basically solder mask material. It's a combination of different inks, but also the other challenge is to make the purple silk screen, which I don't know if you can see here.
Oh, Phil, can you switch to the?
Oh, sure.
The purple silk screen that we have, that's also a very specific purple, but part of why.
Hello, lock. Yeah.
Part of why it's important to do that is because when littleBits started, and this was back in 2010, even before it was a company, the goal was to really make electronics seem unintimidating and inviting so that you can have people of different genders, ages, technical background, and the idea of having green circuit boards that are just have kind of typed up writing on them was for me very much uninviting to a designer or a kid or an educator. And so we were one of the first people that made white circuit boards in this space, make white circuit boards with purple and handwritten solder mask.
That looks really nice.
Okay.
I think so. It's a pain in the
yeah, there's a lot more effort because like not only is it like to be technical correct, but then it has to look good.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, this is just a comment. This person's job just got a huge order of littleBits for the makerspace they're making.
Oh,
so that's cool. Next up, any chance that there'd be a bit related to Linux coming up? Linux bit, Raspberry Pi bit, BeagleBone, Black bit.
Actually, we've been getting a lot of requests for a Raspberry Pi bit, so that might be something that we want to do. I mean, the best thing is for somebody to make it and put it up on the Bit Lab, to be honest. That's the fastest way to...
If someone's super hacky, they could grab the cloud bit and you could look up the chip and then you could probably figure out how to get in there, right?
I mean, that's the goal of the Bit Lab.
Advanced.
Exactly. You'd have to know what you're doing, but by all means, you should.
Okay.
Well, next bit.
Next up, is a set of 4 littleBits called a nibble, 8 called a little bite? How do you
Oh, that's funny. No, I never thought of that. That's brilliant. I love it.
Okay.
We may use that. We'll credit you, person who wrote that question.
Okay, I think that was Tony in the chat. Next up, my library just got a cloud Arduino Cord Basic and Deluxe bundle for the new Makerspace opening. Wow, a lot of people getting this. What are some circuits idea for circuits to make with kids with all that?
We have actually a ton of lessons and project tutorials online that you can look up depending on what you got. I don't remember what you said you had, but we also have a workshop guide that you can download from the education page that helps you kind of create a workshop for depending on what is the age group that you have, because we've seen people run workshop for young kids, whether it's in science or arts and craft or in design thinking, but also all the way up to professional engineers doing prototyping. So it really depends on what you're focused on, but there are plenty of projects and tutorials on the site that you can look at, and if you come up with something, you should share your own as well, and we'll feature your makerspace on our site and in our newsletter as well. So you should write in to info@littlebits.cc and say what you've made, and we'll talk about it with the rest of the community and connect you with
how many guides do you have on your tutorial site?
We have so we have the lesson, which isn't very beefed up, but we're redesigning that because to make it a little bit more user friendly. But there's I would say a couple dozen, and then in the projects there's thousands.
Okay, thousands of projects.
Okay.
Thousands. These kids will be busy forever.
Next up, are you working on any waterproof bits?
That's a good question. We have a solution. Actually, I met at CES these people that make this coating to make circuits waterproof, and it works really well. But I'm a little afraid actually because part of our community is kids. Like I said, a lot of our community is also designers and adults, but part of our community is kids, and it's important. And so if we make it look to them that it's okay to mix electronics with water, they're not going to know that it's okay to do that with LittleBits, but not okay to do with other electronics. So I'm a little bit conflicted about that. I think we may spin it as a separate kind of pro line that might be
You could have like a waterproof sensor, like if you want to do a temperature sensor.
For that, that's easier. But for the bits to be waterproof and work
I agree. That's
underwater,
a good point.
it's like conceptually, it makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Where our big part of our mission is the learning and inspiring of the next generation. And so if we inspire a generation of people that think it's okay to play with electronics in the bathtub, that's no good. They won't be the next generation.
They won't be. Yeah.
Okay.
Scary.
And we're just going to go through a couple more questions because we're out of time.
We're out of time.
Is LittleBits hiring? People want to work for LittleBits.
LittleBits is hiring very aggressively, and actually we're not as good about putting the job descriptions up on the site. So if you are interested in a job that you don't see written up there, just apply to other and send an email to say what role you wanted to apply to. But we're hiring, like I would say, like 20 people.
Okay. What type of jobs?
Software development a lot, as well as hardware engineer. We're also hiring customer service interns or associates. We're also hiring, what else are we hiring? We're hiring e-commerce manager, like retention and acquisition, marketing intern, marketing coordinator, office manager. Actually, office manager may be the most urgent one.
Okay.
Yeah, because our office is in complete disarray. Yeah, So that's a crazy one. But lots of engineer, developer positions, but also many other kind of support functions.
Okay.
Especially if you're like you kind of want to do design and engineering, it might be a good. Maybe
web design too.
Last question of the night: if money was no object and technology wasn't even an issue, what bit would you like to see come out? Because you're around all these all the time. What would be your dream bit as a person who's come up with LittleBits?
My dream bit, a teleportation bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that is handy.
Wow.
That's my dream bit.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Does it have to be feasible?
No.
Okay.
It was totally open ended. That's a good one. That would save a lot in shipping, your travel schedule. You could do a lot of stuff.
That's really handy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, it's now time to do a trivia question. Trivia.
Yay!
Okay.
That hour went by fast.
Yeah.
That
went by fast.
It really did.
Okay.
You're like, how am I going to demo these bits and fill up a whole hour? But like, it's over an hour.
Lady, what are the rules?
Rules are if you've won a fabulous prize on the Ask Engineer, you can't win again. It's one winner from my lifetime. You can enter if you've won something on one of the other shows, though. You can win one per show. And the first person to type in the correct answer into the YouTube or Ustream chat, whichever we see first, is going to be the winner. They're
going to get the
LittleBits to start it.
They're going to get the synth kit that we have in our stores.
Wow.
Yeah. So
a whole synth kit, really?
Yeah.
$159 value.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have twice the engineer tonight, so I feel like we should have twice the price.
All right, this is like a good one.
Okay, so here is the question. What is the name of the company that LittleBits partnered up with for their musical synth kit? Very well-known company. If you're a musician or you know music.
Can I win?
You can't win. No, you have. You're.
Sure.
So all you have to do is type the name of the company in the chat, and you win. So we have two chat rooms.
What company did they partner with for the synth kit?
Okay, Thomas Layton 98. Congratulations, Korg.
Yay, Korg.
Korg.
I was hoping someone would say like Paya or something, like really obscure.
Moog. Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations, Thomas Layton 98. Email support@adafruit.com. You get I had it here, but you get the Korg musical synth kit.
It's here somewhere.
Okay.
We're just gonna hold this up as if it was a purple box. Right. Congratulations, I hope you enjoy it. This is an epic gift.
That's the show. The code is LittleBits. You still get 10% off everything in the Adafruit store, including LittleBits, all the way up to 11:59 p.m. tonight. Ayah, thank you so much for stopping by.
Yay! Thank you so much. Glamorous.
So we just needed practice,
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, now we're gonna high five. I like to tell people high five before I high five them so I don't like smack them in the face or something embarrassing.
Okay, so we're here every week. Next week, it's going to be a ton of new products because we didn't want to do anything other than chat with Ayah for that hour because it went by super fast.
So next week,
Next
it'll
week,
be new
big-
product party.
Big new product party.
Don't forget BitLab, Google Hangout. I think October 14, but check
Go to
littleBits
littleBits.
social
Okay.
or littleBits site.
Littlebits.cc.
Littlebits.cc.
Okay. And as usual, we have to show a picture of MOSFET. And our moment of Zener.
Moss feet.
Yeah, that's our cat. He's not here in the factory anymore because we don't live in a... The Adafruit apartment was Adafruit, so now
So he's
it's
sitting on the bed. He's waiting for us.
Moment of Zener.
moment of Zener,
I
yeah.
didn't know you did that.
Yeah,
That's
and then we have our record that plays.